Howe edges out Steve Redmond. In midfield, Neil McNabb and Tony Grealish will share the workload, allowing Graham Baker to break forward to support the City Cubs in attack. Simpson and the two 19-year-olds, David White and Paul Molden. Imre Varadi providing experienced forward cover on the bench. Manchester City still paying the price for financial excesses in the past, and home wins are vital for their survival in the First Division. Howard Kendall has greater ambitions for Everton's season and left his team selection until the morning of the match.
Well, I felt that Kevin Langley's performances in the last few weeks really have taken a little bit of a dive, and I felt it was just at the right time now to bring him out, give him a rest, and make a change. There's a few options open to me. We had Warren Aspinall and Dave Watson available to us, and also Neil Poynton, and I plumped for Neil Poynton to come in the left full-back position today. Paul Power can play all along the left-hand side, and he'll push further forward into the left-hand midfield position, which I'm sure he'll be capable of doing a good job here on his return to Manchester City.
Everton then will Neville Southall in goal. Neil Poynton at left-back hasn't started a First Division game since March. Paul Power now in a four-man midfield, which has Trevor Stephen and Kevin Sheedy, usually the two wide men in the engine room. But the strike force is, as usual, Graham Sharp and Adrian Heath, with Paul Wilkinson the substitute. Well, with their injuries, Everton will be satisfied at being 5 points off the pace at this stage, particularly as three of their absent internationals, Peter Reid, Gary Stevens and Paul Bracewell, are starting comebacks in the A-team this afternoon. The referee is John Lloyd, who has played in the Football League a handful of games for Wrexham in the mid-60s. Before the start of a match which brings out partisan feelings, a quick view from onlookers with particular interests.
I think obviously with throwing the two young wide players on David White on the right and Paul Simpson on the left, I think they're looking to exploit Everton down the flanks and hopefully get the balls into the penalty area for young Paul Molden, really. I think hopefully the chance will come nice and early so Paul can get the opportunities.
I think if it can be won if we get Neil Adams in the game and we can get a lot of good balls into our front players. Also for City, they've got a couple of good wingers, and I think they need looking after. That can be won on their side as well.
Heath is onside, Sharp going for the near post, and Goodman blocking the danger area twice. His injury worry, a damaged right thigh, and he was out on the pitch this morning, testing it out. Derek Mountfield had come forward, couldn't make contact. Poynton going in with a foot raised, but the referee saw nothing wrong. And Suckling's hesitated, Adams setting up the chance, and the goal is from Adrian Heath. Perry Suckling, who had what he described as the worst game of his short league career last Saturday at Arsenal, found himself in no man's land then. He started to come, and then realised he'd made a mistake, an error of judgment, a good early cross from Adams, and swept in by Heath. He scored now the last three Everton goals here in the First Division. McCarthy drops easily for Heath, who picks out Adams, three waiting for the cross for Everton. Adams, who's really learning his trade in the spotlight of the First Division. Harper. City really needing to hold it up further forward to give their back four time to settle down. Harper can keep the pressure on. Sharp up above Clements. Stephen, possibilities again for Everton here. Heath. Stephen. Well, it was a strange route by which the ball eventually arrived with Perry Suckling. Heath's header, one would have thought, was directed at goal and going well off target until Stephen, who'd been at the hub of the move earlier, stuck out a foot. Heath came in here, and it was a straightforward stop for Suckling. Wilson. White. Winning it in the air against Poynton. Molden scurrying across, making Ratcliffe hurry his clearance. There was a better angle in the pass then to suit White. Oh, Gidman almost caught McNabb unawares. Simpson coming in. Here's Sharp holding it up skillfully. Good running ahead of Stephen by Adams. And Adams is in the clear. Another chance for Everton. And he looked again to repeat the dose towards players arriving in the middle. Sheedy was there, but so too was Adrian Heath. And maybe Neil Adams passing the ball here and passing the responsibility. He didn't seem to want to go on and take the chance himself. Simpson. Molden, neatly done. Simpson. The harassing from McNabb. Gidman, White pulling wide on the right. And options on both sides for Manchester City. Here's Wilson. Baker. Grealish. Not a goal scorer by instinct. Stephen. And here's Sharp. Wilson the defender. And Wilson the winner. That was just the sort of scare that Manchester City could do without. But the sort of defending from Clive Wilson that they will appreciate. It's not always the strongest part of his game. Here's Grealish! The home side beginning to settle now. With all three midfield players involved here. Grealish a foot or so wide. Poynton. Jane Wilson in the right place. And that's a push surely on Molden. No. But City have possession. Wilson, Simpson outside him. And Adrian Heath working back. Credit to him, but not to Wilson, or perhaps his teammates who might have given him a call. And then Paul Power's back heel doesn't come off. McNabb, Gidman with space. White to his right. Molden and Baker in the middle. This is David White. A quick corner to McNabb. Baker. Well, the corner was taken so quickly that neither Clements nor McCarthy, who was setting off from the back to lend height, could get there. Sheedy. All wide midfield players will tell you they love the extra involvement in the centre, as Trevor Stephen is getting and Kevin Sheedy today. But that was rather lackadaisical, and Simpson, and now Molden might profit from it. Molden against Mountfield. And with a scoring run like he's had at Main Road, 6 goals in his last 4 home games, he's really entitled to try the ambitious shot. Misjudged this time by McCarthy. Heath, Sharp, caught Adams. Sharp's touch alone deserved the goal. A short, simple side foot, but delivered with great awareness. After Heath had got the ball back to him, Sharp sent Adams in, and the finish was hurried. Adams. Wilson's had to be schooled in his defending. It's out of play to Wilson's relief. For a long time it looked as though Clive Wilson was going to As we look again at Adams, Clive Wilson was going to make his career in midfield, and it might yet happen that way. He's got such a good left foot, and left-sided defenders are hard to come by. On from White, and Molden is clear, and shows the clinical finish that marks him down as a tremendous prospect. He's hardly had a sight of goal. It was wonderfully done. He raises the eyebrows. Manchester City are level with 5 minutes to go before half-time. Well, Paul Molden is buying Manchester City some time. They badly need some of their young players to do the jobs of fully grown men. Molden is coming through, and after Everton had scored 5 minutes into the half, City equalised with 5 minutes of it remaining. City must keep their concentration though here, particularly Suckling. One or two complaints about the way Sharp jumped in. Suckling certainly felt it. Suckling still just trying to get the muscles moving again. Sharp certainly entitled to jump to challenge for the ball, but he does have a bit of a reputation in the game, Graham Sharp, of jumping into players as well. Sharp. In fact, the pass was intended for Poynton. Heath got it there in the end. Clements. First to recover, though, was Trevor Stephen. Harper. And the flick was from Heath, and it was going in. Till blocked. Brought away by White. Only Molden ahead of him for Manchester City. He gave his side some breathing space then. Well, City know that their young players will get better. They've got a lot to learn, and the good, honest core of professionals around them are giving them space in which to show their skills now. Grealish, who comes into that category. Simpson was running into a congested area, but Grealish saw the opportunity for the direct strike. Mountfield. It is half-time. Everton went into the lead with Adrian Heath's 6th goal of the season. But Paul Molden tied it up 5 minutes before half-time. And the schoolboy scoring sensation shows that he can score in the First Division. And that is a great finish. Well, let's get a view on the first half from down on the touchline.
So I think you've got to pursue the policy of hitting early balls to the front man. Young David White's caused an awful lot of problems with his pace down that right. In fact, in the air, he caused a problem with nicking the ball on from that long clearance to Paul Molden for the goal. I'd like to see them continue the early play to the front man, causing the back defence at Everton an awful lot of problems.
I think we need to step the pace up a little bit. I think after the first 20, everything was going well, and we got the goal. And I think we need, as I say, we need to just pick the pace up. I think we've kept their wide men reasonably quiet, and sure, I think the boss will liven the lads up for the second half and take it from there.
Level then at half-time. 5 of the last 6 meetings here in the league between these two clubs have ended as draws. But City certainly finishing the first half in a psychological ascendancy. Well, Gary Lineker has gone, but Adrian Heath's contribution lives on. Kidman. White onside. Molden and Baker looking for the cross. So too was Southall. He does like to get the ball in quickly, David White. Sheedy. Trevor Stephen had made the forward run, and Clements a little too casual. But City are buzzing. Baker. Simpson away to the left. And he'll have to wait. McNabb, who's an emerging influence on this match. Wilson. Into the feet of Molden, which is how he likes it. Grealish. From one side, then to the other. But Everton aren't unlocked yet. White. They might be now. Just touched away at the very last by Harper. McCarthy's interception. Sheedy. And Heath coming in again. Adrian Heath is very perceptive. It's a problem for defenders like Clements. Mountfield. It drops for Heath. Trying to link up here with Harper. Mountfield and Sharp repositioning in the middle. Adams is there, and Sharp! The shot had to be taken quickly. And the value of getting numbers forward shown here. Manchester City kept at full stretch, and when the ball dropped, it dropped Everton's way. So Jimmy Frizzell in the glasses at the back of the Manchester City bench there, getting the chance to manage in the First Division at the age of 49. Stephen. McCarthy had to keep his eye on an awkward bounce. Harper. Everton pressing City back, and Baker slapping it behind for the corner. I'm wondering what the fuss was about. Well, the near post might be the key area here. Suckling, an excellent save. It was the key area. Trevor Stevens' back header. On target until the intervention of Suckling. Power. It's a great ball from Sheedy. Heath at near post. Good defending, Kenny Clements. Sheedy flicked the switch then from midfield. Poynton. And they've left Heath, not for the first time, but all Everton get is a corner. Again, the massive bodies around the near post area. Power. It's Wilson who got drawn across to get it away. Well, the scoreline, a fair reflection on a tight match now. A match that's been full of incident. And more to come. With power, he comes back with a goal that he could hardly turn and celebrate. Well, they were celebrating on the bench. Paul Power He's been involved with Manchester City in one capacity or another for some 15 years, but now he's Everton through and through. And through his left foot, they lead 2-1 at Main Road. And Suckling fell late, and it brushed his hands on the way in. (2-1) after 68 minutes. Power has the chase back now to help protect the lead that he's given to Everton. Gidman. Here's White. Sheedy, and there are a few players in the world who can hit a pass like that. And it's Power again. Let down by his first touch. It was Heath who picked him out, just as Sheedy had picked Heath out. Stephen. Everton with a spring in their steps again. Sheedy. Here's Heath. Tried to take too much time, and it ended in a tangle with Grealish down as well as Heath. Both players happily back upright again. And here comes Roy Bailey to supervise the introduction of Imre Varadi for a rather disappointing Paul Simpson. There are plenty of good days ahead, I'm sure, for Simpson. But Everton, down his side of the field, were a tough nut to crack today. The third goal here for Everton would surely put it beyond Manchester City. And Mountfield should have provided it. He's understandably angry with himself. City's marking was lacking, and Mountfield from very close range. It's the number 6 that's being held up, so it's one Paul for another. But Paul Power has certainly made an impact on his first division return here for Everton. He did play here in his own testimonial match before the season started, a match in which Paul Wilkinson scored twice in an Everton win. Sheedy. Not had so many opportunities to strike at goal today, Kevin Sheedy. He is Everton's top scorer, and Sharp played onside by McCarthy. Unselfishly delivered for Heath, and that wraps it up. And that really is the essence of Everton. They force you into mistakes, and they have the quality to make the most of chances when they do come their way. All credit to Graham Sharp. He gave the opportunity to Heath, the goal to Heath. And with 5 minutes remaining, surely there's no way back for Manchester City from this. No chance for Suckling. And the scoreline now a reflection of the current league status of these two clubs. Sharp. Is there still more to offer from Everton? Heath, remember, is on a hat-trick. And had a better chance of getting it if he'd been able to take the ball in a direct line to goal rather than the first touch, which forced him wide into a crossing position. McNabb. White. Well, that was extraordinary. It certainly needs a second look to see how it stayed out. Derek Mountfield will know exactly what happened. White, another indication of his potential. And it was flicked on by Molden, and then it ended up in Southall's arms. Wilkinson. And it's beyond a retreating Clements. Stephen. And it drops for Adams. Harper. A sensible early ball. And this time the luxury of a strike at goal. Not from Harper, but from Kevin Sheedy. Everton have been efficient for much of the game, stylish in front of goal, and they have taken advantage of what chances have come their way. White. City looking for a sting in the tail, and David White can't provide it. It was August 1972, the last time that Everton won a First Division match here. The 2 goals from Adrian Heath have done the trick, ending that fruitless run, and one which will, I'm sure, get its share of the headlines from the returning Paul Power. Paul Molden on target for Manchester City in the first half, but their struggle to stay alive in Division 1 is going.